Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Looks like I'm live on. I'm certainly live on Facebook. I'm also live on D Live. I'm also live on VK, my YouTube channel, my Facebook page, my Facebook profile, and two Facebook groups. So there's been trouble at a local school, Royton Academy in Royton, Oldham Academy North. And good evening, Shazza. Good evening, everyone in the chat. Oldham Academy North, and a teacher has been accused of being Islamophobic and things like that. And you must have all seen there's lots going around on social media. Thank you, Michael. I hope Accrington's good these days. Got a couple of good friends from there, Tom and Gav from there. Yes, Jace. Thank you. Tea Lady, hiya. Matthew, easy now. Yes, Anita. So she's seen people praying and chucked them out. They've all been praying outside and all that. And there's a big stink on Facebook. But I mean, what can I say about this? It's very dangerous in Oldham, this kind of thing. Certainly is dangerous for the teacher. No matter what she's done, we have laws in England against you threatening people. People really need to get this in their head. We have laws, right? And no matter what that woman has done, nobody should be threatening violence or threatening her life. I'm not saying it's been done yet. It hasn't. It's good that the discussion is about it's not going that way. But what happens because of immigration and Islamic immigration, we've got loads of religious loons here. How do I know this? Well, the head guy who started all the stuff at Batley, religious loon or extreme on that part of the religion. In Oldham, we've got one of these people. I've been through this before. Clarksfield Primary School. Let me just get it up. I'm actually sick of getting things up that I've always put up and I've repeated to be put up, but I have to because some people are so idiotic that they will not do the research themselves. I've been through this umpteen times, and I've showed you what's going on, the stuff that happens in Oldham schools and up north in general, like we see in Batley. Clarksfield Primary School takeover. Kids get a dismal start to school life at primary, where boys have dominated the playground. Going through the report tells you how the support teachers can hardly speak English themselves, and it's a breeding ground for misogyny. It's a breeding ground for misogyny. But somebody else involved in the school, and his name comes up a couple of times. I hope Rajan Mia's watching this because he knows the geezer. He knows the geezer. His name comes up a couple of times. Let me just find it. The head teacher, by the way, had alleged at the time that she'd had death threats because they didn't want like how she was teaching at the school. Nothing ever come of this. I can't find the woman. I don't know if she's a teacher now. I don't know if she's an older. Seems to have disappeared. I'm just looking for the guy's name. I will find it in a second. I just want to be really show you about this. I'm not making things, it's all public information. His name is Nassim Ashraf, and he works on the Oldham Interfaith Forum, which gets money off Oldham Council. And he was the person around all this scandal at Clarksfield Primary School. Now, that's just one incident, we say. Yeah, that's just one incident, yeah? It's one incident. So this is 2017. I think the incident was 15 or 16 it happened, 2015 or 16. This particular article's 2017, but I'm sure it was 15 or 16. Now, let's just get another search up. Parents protest against relationship lessons in primary schools spread across the country. I am no fan of them lessons in schools, right? Protest, fair enough. Yeah, I'm all for protesting. Yeah. But what I'm not going to accept is the Ashim Ashraf, the guy I just mentioned before, came live on Northwest Tonight and said there could be riots in Oldham again if you don't take education out of school. So that's twice this guy has been involved in what I would say is very extreme stuff, right? Very extreme, on the extreme side of the level. Anyone wants to disquestion me or anything, I want you to come on my show and shout me down or whatever. But the evidence is there. He's involved in the Clarksfield Primary School. Next thing is the chief protester against sex education. Again, I'm no fan of sex education, but I don't believe that riots and violence is a way to solve anything. If anyone else does think that, just go away off my, don't follow me, because I'm not that person, me. That's why I'm going down the voting route. I can't believe that our council allows this kind of stuff to go on. Now, looking just briefly at this academy thing, it does look like the teacher was a right twat. It does look like that. I've seen words of a Jew teacher and white teacher, like proper pushing the Islamophobia thing. Now, I just hope that our council leader, Ruth Shah, good evening, God bless. Good evening, everyone in the chat. Honestly, I'm on one tonight. I'm on one. I've had a massive few weeks, as you already know, done a lot of stuff, and I'm peaking for Christmas. And so been involved in two sets of things, this guy. Two sets of things. He went live on Northwest Tonight. First of all, I'll put the ITV link up to the school protest. Like I said, I don't talk about anything unless I've seen something about it. And these articles in the newspapers, whether they lie or what the truth, these are articles in mainstream media. And this is what I'm using to show you the kind of people we're letting in this country through immigration. This is the kind of people that we're letting into this country. This guy's not going to stop. So he gets money off Oldham Council on Oldham's Interfaith Forum. He's been live on Northwest Tonight saying there could be riots again if we don't take over sex education in school. And he's been involved in a suspected Islamic takeover plot at a primary school where the teacher got death threats. And this guy gets money off Oldham Council. Honestly, you Oldhamers, I'll tell you right now, the majority of the white Labour Oldhamers, you're fucking thick. You're thick. I'll tell you, if I knock on your door when I'm canvassing and you disagree with me, but I will tell you, I will call you out for being politically correct and ignorant. That's what I will do to anybody who comes against me when I'm showing you evidence of what goes on in Oldham. Now, it's not all about Oldham. This has gone on in Batley, Birmingham, and loads of other towns across the country where there's no integration. It's the biggest thing ever. Remember, it's no integration since 20 years ago when I was not politically active. From before the Oldham riots, there's been plenty of articles in newspapers over this. My party is all about Britain and British. If you're here already, you're not going to get kicked out unless you don't want to abide by our rules. You know what I mean? Like I said, we have laws in this country where you can't threaten someone with violence over fuck all over, especially over religious things, because we're a secular country. I'm not very tolerant of any religion. I'll tell you that right now. If people know me and watch me YouTube, they've seen this. They've seen me talk about this. I don't have a big tolerance for any religion, including Christianity. But I was brought up with Christian values and Church of England values, which make me the person I am. But I'm not a mad Christian. I'm not an extremist Christian. And I have a low tolerance of any religion. I'm more borderline atheist than anything. I'm sorry. I'm part of the secular society. That's me. I have to be honest. Doesn't mean I won't go to a church or any other kind of religious building. I've been in a few different religious buildings in my time, and I will show respect. But I can't tolerate religion when it comes to things like this in our towns. This isn't good for the so-called diverse community or that we have. It isn't good, and our councillors know this. The independent councillors know this. Everybody knows this. No one's doing nothing about it. All that's going to happen is going to be more divide between communities until we are rioting with each other. That's what's going to happen, right? It's really blindingly obvious. I'm sick of it, mate. I'm absolutely sick of it in my Oldham, in our Oldham. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it for Batley. I'm sick of it for Bradford and Yorkshire. I'm sick of it for South Yorkshire. I'm sick of it everywhere around the country. There's no integration with minority communities. Oldham is a premier place for that. There's hundreds of articles in the paper about that going all the way back. The Guardian journalist, when she came up to Oldham, was amazed how many people were going to vote who couldn't even speak English. And they'd lived here for 10, 20 years. It's not good enough, guys. It really isn't. And I call out to the councillors to sort this out in the least possible threatening way. And if someone does threaten that teacher, they need to be arrested and tried under British law, right? But you can't do that. That is not allowed. I don't care what you think of anyone. You can't be going around threatening people. That's against the law. It's one of our most basic laws. You can't do that. It's not allowed. And the more you do it, the more the minority community is just going to divide like they are in Oldham. I can't see anyone disagreeing with what I say when I'm showing you the evidence. Google it up. If I've missed something out, Google it up yourself and look for it. Just don't take my word, do your own research. Whatever you think of the newspapers, these things are written down in the newspapers. And I know they've gone on in Oldham. There's people like Raja Mia who's proved it, that these things go on. You know what I mean? And we've showed you that we've got a CSE problem. We showed you the email of another senior journalist saying he's got there's issues about sushi bars and bars in town where child sexual exploitation is going on. It's here. It's there. And obviously, like other towns, like Telford, like Rotherham, they're trying to keep a lid on it and cover it up. It's just not good enough. If I ever get to speak to Andy Burnham again, it's going to be a massive discussion and a massive debate around these kind of things. If you look through back, all my YouTube and my history is about stuff like this. Now, I just thought that our Oldham councillors, the Root Shah, the council leaders, the chief execs and all this can sort this issue out with the minimum of fuss. The minute I hear that that woman has been threatened with any kind of violence, I'm going to be at the police station. If they won't listen to me, I'll get a demo up here and there'll be hundreds of people at the police station. That's what I'm going to do, because it's not right. We have laws in this country against such a thing. Now, I mean, there's all sorts going on. There was a bus full of Jewish kids all spat and fret at, and earlier on in the year, to do with Palestine and Israel, there was people going around the street saying, "Kill the Jewish women and rape the daughters," and it was on film. This is unacceptable in the UK. I don't care what religion you are; it's unacceptable. You just don't get it, and I don't know why. Our stinking politicians aren't agreeing. They should be agreeing with me 100,000,000%, right? And we don't want fucking blind, and we want transparent investigations. I want to see, in the public, I want to see the issues to resolve this thing with the school in Oldham. I want to see in the public that we've never seen in Batley. I want to see publicly Kim Leadbeater and all the rest of the political correct politicians up there. I want to see it in the public domain, and it should be for us to see these investigations, these reports should be. So I could suggest you start emailing the council or emailing your local MP to get this. I want someone to deliver me a printed on paper. I want to see it on Twitter, a report into the school. It just won't be good enough if it don't come. I'm going to go further on this. I really am. I've got issues with other schools in Oldham as well that I've not really gone into, and I'm sick and tired of it. How can we have good communities when we're being divided all the time by extreme religious zealots, or whatever you want to call them, political correctness, and the absolute lack of our politicians in doing anything? Honestly, I think right now, in all the history of the British Empire, our politicians are the most spineless politicians we've got. And this is every single politician across the board, including you independents. Don't think you're getting out of it. You as well. You don't speak about the issues that are important to the town. And this integration issue is the biggest issue that's ever been in Oldham in all its history. This past 50 years of history is this integration thing, and it's just not working. It just isn't. I really want somebody to come on and challenge me. Let me just get my link out. I want someone, anyone can come on if you want to come on. I'll put my StreamYard link in. If you want to come and talk about them couple of issues that I've mentioned, please come on. And if you want to dispute me, bring some facts up to dispute me. Like I said, the Clarksfield Primary School takeover is all over the internet. Everything I talk about is on the internet. It's not something I've made up. It's not something that someone's told me and I'm telling you. It's all there on the internet already. And so I'll put my link in, my StreamYard link, and I'll keep it up for 10, 15 minutes. If someone would like to come on, just to go against what I've said, if you want to elaborate more on it, if you want to disagree with me, and please come on. Please come on, honestly. Oh, no. Please, honestly, if you disagree with me, come on. Honestly, and I mean, I know, yeah. What's her name now? Claudia Webb, is it? Claudia Webb. So, serving member of Parliament. I think she's not in the Labour Party anymore. And I think is she still an MP? Is she still an MP, Claudia Webb? So she's threatened to acid attack another woman and not being kicked off of an MP. I don't get it, me. I don't get it. She's been guilty of threatening to acid attack another woman, and she's not. What's going on here? How can there be? How have we got this so-called harmony in the country when we've got dicks like Claudia Webb doing that? Honestly, I just don't get it, me. I just don't get. I'll use all these things when I'm running as a council, when I'm speaking. I'll use all these things, and I'll get called racist. But well, what if I threaten somebody with acid? What if I do it? She's still an MP. Oh my God! It's just so PC, our country. Honestly, it's one of the worst things. It's so dividing, and people don't see it. If everyone noticed, when I brought up political correctness at the mayor's meeting, no one said nothing. Nobody shouted me down. Nobody disagreed with me, because it's fucking true. That's what it is. It's political correctness, and it's allowed to flourish. It's one of my biggest. I would say that political correctness is one of my biggest humps throughout all my social media, going back to when Facebook was first made in 2007, when I first went on it. Political correctness. Got thousands, if not millions, of posts about political correctness. It's something that I've seen it with my own eyes. I've been politically correct, by the way. I've not denied I haven't. I have. I'm guessing a lot of us, one time or another, would have been politically correct. I know it's not your fault. You've been indoctrinated with left-wing, socialist, Marxist views and things like that, which makes you politically correct, and you're easily... Everyone has to admit that they have been politically correct one time or another. And I have. Yeah. But it's a big divide to our communities. A big shout out to the Oldham community, honestly, please, Muslim or whatever, make sure this incident does go no further, because it's just ridiculous that people have been threatened all over our country because of religion, and it's doing me head in. I really on that line, me, of being an atheist. I am, and I've not got a big tolerance of any religion, not just Christianity, any religion. I've not got a big tolerance of. And while I'm coming on religion, I got accused of being a racist of Neil Wilby, the Oldham fucking bum boy scum reporter, and because I said that if you run illegal faith schools, then you're not welcome in our country, which is, and I pointed out there were Jewish and Muslim illegal faith schools. There is the odd Christian one, same goes for them. If you run something that's illegal or not registered, then you're breaking the law. If you think you can carry on doing that, then you're going to get convicted. You're going to go to court or whatever. And if you carry on doing it, you're free to leave the country. I don't care what religion you are. You're free to leave the country. I've done videos about faith schools. If you look at the National Secular Society, they've got a lot of information on how easy it is to brainwash and make people extreme with these religious schools. There's books promoting the beating of women being found in schools. There's kids going to schools and not even learning English as like a subject in certain. I'm not having it. We live in a secular society. I don't get it, me. If we live in a secular country, why is religion ruling things when it shouldn't be? Now, so again, everyone of every religion, follow the law, register your schools, and stop doing illegal faith schools, please. Because if I have any power, if I ever get into a power, you'll be shut down. You'll be shut down. And if you mourn, then I'll be asking you to leave the country because you're breaking the law. Or don't we have any laws? You know, illegal and unregistered. right? You're breaking the laws. I don't care what religion you are. You're breaking the law. It's if I going to get in trouble for not sending my kids to school properly and schooling them properly, so are you, right? So are you. So apparently I'm a racist because of that, and they went off to the lot in Barrow and said I'm an anti-Semitic for saying that. What? Hang on a minute. So I agree that schools should be registered, and when I say something against illegal or unregistered schools, I'm a racist. Well, fuck off. Right? It's not going to work with me. These kind of words are not going to work with me because you wouldn't be able to win me in a debate. You could just say them words online. All fucking fake heads, honestly. Fake heads. You won't last 2 minutes with me on a stream. You wouldn't. Let me just check. Nobody's coming in. Come on, lefties. Any Muslims from Oldham? Please come on. Talk to me. It needs to be sorted out, this, because it won't be me threatening anyone. It'll be you. And then the council will cover it up. Everyone will be mad because no one's protected the teacher. And then the Labour Council's definitely going down. Definitely going down. So I hope this Arut Shah and the police, you better sort this incident out. If you don't, I'm going to be talking about it for years to come. And when I do my first speech in council chambers, that'll be top of the speech. That'll be top of the list to say. Oh, again, I'm writing an email, drafting up an email. I'm going to have to change it now because there's some. I want to change it and put it a different way. But I'm drafting up an email to all 60 councillors in Oldham, and there'll be emails going to the MPs and the chief of police, the new chief of police, who I've spoke to already, asked him a question in the Mayor's question time, and I'll be emailing y'all. I'm a member. I am on the electoral roll in Oldham. So you have to listen to me. If you don't listen to me, I'll be running as a councillor and you'll have to listen to my speeches then and stuff like that. If you're going to ignore me, all that's going to happen is that you lot are going to go down. You're going to go down with a bang. We don't want Labour in anywhere in Oldham. And I'm certainly not a fan of any of the other mainstream parties. Parties. I never said individual councillors. I said parties. I don't like the Conservatives' view on immigration. They're not doing enough, certainly not at Dover or anything like that. And I totally blame the Conservative Party under David Cameron or Theresa, whoever it were, for letting the Manchester Arena bomber in. I've done long, extensive videos on that, showed you all the evidence there that they were linked to extreme organisations, and because they helped us a little bit, and all these people are at it like that now. Oh, all the people in Afghanistan who helped us. The Manchester Arena bomber's parents' family was in the same situation, you idiots, right? So they'd give a bit of help, I don't know how, to the Western Alliance, yeah? Oh, we want to come over here because we're unsafe. They've come over, have 5 kids, 2 boys have grown up and blown 22 people up, and everyone's blaming the ambulance service, the police. I don't get it. It's the Conservatives' fault. It's not anyone else's. Conservatives have been in power for the past 20 years. It's the Conservatives' fault. And I've always been on that line with that particular issue. So please, come on, councillors, representatives in Oldham, come on and say something. Good evening, God bless.
Hi, my mucker, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you, sir. I'm very good.
Right, listen, let's get some things straight. This isn't about race or religion or anything. It's about equality. It's equality. We all got family and kids. We all want to provide for them. We pay our taxes to provide a good community of schools and libraries and not waiting several hours or 2 days for an ambulance. And so it's just unfortunately that we don't see many Jewish grooming gangs. And if there was, I'm sure the community, the women and the mothers and the sisters and the daughters would stand up and oust these people that do these kind of things. As for the other things, you just talking about the Manchester Arena bombers. That guy who came back, did you know that the Royal Navy picked him up and brought him back to the country?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
There's lots of questions that need to be answered. The other day when you was outside the court with Active, Alan, what you want to call him, guys. At the time when all these grooming gangs were going on, there was I can't remember her name right now, Baroness something, English woman who indigenous or whatever you want to say it without being funny. She was the head of social services, and apparently all these thousands of girls being groomed and raped. This is what she called it, a scandal. How can you? How a scandal is like that Hancock or whatever, and a little kiss with some bird in the back, got caught on CCTV. It's not raping thousands of girls.
That made more news than the grooming gang cases.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, just like Prince Edward at the moment, and over in America, not being televised. So yeah, the thing is, what baffles me is that how children. I mean, look at today, that sentencing of that poor little boy, 6 years of age. Why are children are just put? It's like we're in beyond Victorian times. Send them up the chimney, clean them up, and get them in the workhouse. Why are children so sexually abused and beaten? And it just there's something very wrong that us men in this country and women need to change.
Definitely, I totally agree.
It's just it makes my blood boil. But that's what I'm just saying. Look, any haters against you, what can anyone hate against you? What things have you actually come across or put across as being racist?
Like I said, they said I was racist because I went on about illegal and unregistered schools. You know what I mean? Now, the illegal and unregistered should just tell you enough about what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And we have laws. The thing is, God bless, if you didn't send your kids to school, what would happen?
If I didn't send them to school?
Yeah.
I'd apply for homeschooling and get the grants.
If you didn't apply for homeschooling, so
yeah, special services, police, and all the malarkey, yeah.
On just recently until 2015, maybe 16, Oldham Council was giving extended housing benefit to people who were going to other countries in the winter.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and we had the lockdowns as well. They're allowed, and also the schools. If you're not back, you get the fines, but they were exempt.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? There's no, like, if you want equality, they should be treated the same as us. Exactly the same. They should get fined. They shouldn't get special privileges. No one should get special privileges. All balls back down to equality. Equality, So why a certain religion has preferential treatment? I'll tell you what, most of it boils down to is that I don't know the Barcelona 2005 agreement, where all Muslims are allowed to enter Europe unhindered, and that's why I sometimes wonder: is it all down to the 1951 agreement? Yeah,
you refugee, or is that something to do with that as well?
Before I go on any further, it's not just one religion. It does seem to be. There's other religions that get fucking exemptions because of religions. In England, no. England is a secular country, which means religion doesn't have anything in the law or rules and stuff like that. So it doesn't matter what religion. I have to take on every religion because every religion other than Christianity has some kind of fucking benefit in England, but they shouldn't do. With our laws aren't made purely around religious. We became a secular society so long ago to take out that element. Now, I'm not saying we should ban religion, but we have to have equality. They have to be seen doing the right things, and threatening a teacher with violence over a non-violent act is wrong. And even if she done a violent act, you still can't threaten her. These are our laws. You know what I mean? And I know it works backwards for us as well. Like the right wing will get arrested for holding a leaflet, something like that. But we've got people going outside of school calling for people to be targeted with violence. And it's just not good enough in the UK. It isn't. And I know I'm talking about Islam here, but I'm telling every religion now in the UK, watch yourselves, because we're not standing for this rubbish. I'm not standing for it neither. My tolerance of religion is small. I tell you, my tolerance of religion is so small that you need a fucking magnifying glass to see it. That's my tolerance of religion.
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
What's happened to the guy in Batley then? Is he still in hiding with his family?
Yeah.
And is the government giving him assistance? Is he in a 5-star, 4-star hotel?
I don't think so. But it's not just it was a teacher. There was one teacher who got threatened, but there is other teachers who feel threatened as well at that school.
Yeah.
God bless. It's not
just that school. Not just that school. I bet there's loads and loads and loads. It's like they don't tell us about all the terror attacks in Europe, in France, that are continuously going on. All the churches are being mysteriously burnt down. It just goes on and on and on. It's like now, if you look in the papers, I don't know if you've seen lately in the papers, there's quite a few attempted child abductions.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, there's quite a few child abductions going on in the UK, or attempted. And they just don't get the description anymore. So if you've got a child attempted abduction outside of school, 3 men, blah, 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 surely in the daytime, surely wouldn't it be helpful to give a description? It's like, you know, like say like a woman gets attacked or raped on a tube, blah, 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 blah. But they put it out 6 months later or a year later. Yeah, I can't remember what I fucking had for dinner last night. I don't know what happened 6 months ago. So it's all like a hindrance to try and keep our society on the equilibrium, to just like a safe society. Look at all the stabbings, murders, and robberies, and children like today, like we said earlier on about a poor little 6-year-old boy. He's not the only one. It goes on and on and on and on and on. You know, and yeah, it's just what kind of future we got for our kids? I mean. Yeah, I'm not the only one, I'm sure, you know. And then you try to talk to people about these things, and everyone's in their own little bubble, aren't they now? Yeah. You know, everyone's in their own little bubble, and just, yeah, I don't know. I think it's because I've got kids and everything. I've got 5 kids, as you all know, and you just want a better future for them. And, you know, my boy, you know, I bought him a nice bike because his bike got stolen, and now he's scared to go out on it in case that one gets robbed. Society.
Well, you're right about crime. The national crime levels have been rising steadily for 10 years. Actually, a bit of a big spike this past 10 years. Drugs, violent crime, sexual crime, stabbings, people being beaten over the head for stuff. All this is high. It's factual. It's all high. And I'm gonna say it again. People are not integrating. There's no integration with the people who come in here. We've got David Ames gets killed by a man whose dad was a refugee, but lived in
Somalian. A Somalian man. Yeah, he got refused.
My party, you have one passport. If you have a dual passport, you've got to get rid of one of them. You're either British or you whatever. That's how it is in my party. We're not having dual passports because this kind of thing's happening. So the guy who come from Somalia, his dad, he's high up in. Is he not some kind of like
politician or something? Yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
So he's got an house over there. He's come over here as a refugee. What's going on? What's going on? It's not just the African Somalis or the Muslims. The Eastern Europeans are the same. Somebody, a people trafficker, has been caught for the first time in England. In England, for the 3 times he's been caught in England, and so he gets deported and he's back. What's going on with our borders, man? What's going on? And let me just go in as well.
Yeah.
Since we opened the doors to European immigration, we've had
by Labour. That's what I was going to pull you on because you said it is about the Conservatives. It's Labour. Tony Blair opened it up.
The past 20 years, Conservatives have been in power. I blame them for the Manchester Arena bomber being here, the Libyan bomber. But no, you're right. The previous Labour governments, when we came into the EU, and it was always a plan that we'd get the Romanians and Eastern Europeans in. But I mean, I know there's some nice ones, right? But we've had this. This is real. We've had murderers, drug dealers, rapists, gangsters, all come from Eastern European countries here and start doing it here. Now we've got an Albanian kingpin drug trade going on where the Albanians don't mess around. They don't just go and beat you up with a metal bar for your weed grow.
Torture.
They go and execute you with a gun.
Torture. Yeah, torture.
I put the article up. An Albanian got executed like that by other Albanians over his weed grow. Honestly, you know, this is it's just ridiculous. We're doomed. We're doomed. I'm sorry, we're doomed. If this level of immigration continues, we're absolutely doomed.
I speak as I find, and I have to say that the Romanians that I've met, I'm in Swindon, Wiltshire. When I was in hospital with COVID, there's a lovely Romanian woman who's a cleaner. She was hardworking. The other Romanians I know, they're all working. They all and the Polish. Oh, they love the Polish.
No, I know what you're saying, but there is a lot of criminals in them. No,
I'm not disagreeing. I am not disagreeing. But I speak as I find on who I found.
Right. But I mean, I've worked with Polish people and Romanians. I've met nice, all sorts. But one of the biggest in the jails now. I'm going to just try and find the link.
I think the biggest nationality in jails is Vietnamese.
I don't think so.
For drugs, for cultivating, because they're being brought over here to do the marijuana, or whatever you want to call it, cannabis farms. Well, that was maybe 2 years ago. It might have changed a little bit. But I think stabbing's probably high up on the agenda now, because look at the stabbings that go on in London. You know, even little kids stabbing kids now.
Yeah. What's going
on? And I think that thing where kids shouldn't be named, you know, under the age of 18 is wrong. Because the judges do allow them out now and then. They do say, right, this is so serious. They're 15 or 16, I'm naming them. It should be named on all of them. So much for this new virus, but we're still letting up to 1,000 a day. I mean, it's on average, it's 1,000 a week. A month that come in. Don't listen to the papers. They're saying, 30,000 this year. That's bollocks, right? Anybody that types in Dover and looks at the YouTubers that are down in Dover. I mean, like Steve Laws, you was on there last night with Active and that. You saw me on there. It's bollocks. It's nowhere near that number. It's loads more what they're making out. It's not only the ones that are coming in Dungeness and Dover. You got the lorries that are coming in, the fake passports, the fake visas, marriages, student visas. It is I don't know how this country hasn't sunk like the Titanic yet.
Steve said last night, he gave a figure for the lorries, and he said that's the ones we know about, because the lorries come across all the East Coast. They don't just come to Dover, do they? Lorries go up to other ports.
Yeah.
Of course. Right, I'm putting a link up to prison statistics, right? But just let me go through this statistic.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you carry on, mate. Carry on. Educate me.
So, British nationals, right, in prison, 68,000 people. British nationals. Now, that's not white people. That's not just white people. Not just white people. I'm a British national. I'm mixed race. Raja Mia is a British national and he's Muslim. So that's not white people. But 47% of 47% of the nationalities in prison are Eastern European. Predominantly, it breaks down to predominantly Polish and European. And as well as that, when the cost for translation costs in the police and other areas.
£200 a call, is it? Is it £200 a call?
Something like that. And they're high on that list as well. So
and hospitals.
they commit as much crime, but I understand they do work and they have our kind of values, but there's been no control over the people who come in, and criminals have come from Romania and Poland and they've come here and then they've just carried on being criminals. We haven't been selective on who we let over. You know, that's what happened. But I'll put the link up, and I got this off History Debunked channel.
Oh yeah, I got that channel. Yeah, English guy. Yeah, I see it. But listen, we said foreign. You just done the British ones. So do the foreign ones.
No, but what I'm saying is British national doesn't mean white people. Did you understand?
Yeah, no, that.
When you get a passport, the British national don't mean you have to be born here. So British national could be a guy from Pakistan who's got British citizenship, got a British passport.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you've got, and I can't break the British national down. I can't break that down too much. But you've just got to remember that. That's how it comes. That's how they hide some figures from us, and this, that, and the other. But I've put the link in the chat. I'm just gonna click it onto Facebook, and people can just have a scan through that. So take your time, and a lot of the crime that we've had increase in this past 20 years has been from outside of the United Kingdom. Eastern European crime, Islamic crime, African crime. There's Nigerians who are ripping us off. There's every country in the world who's come here. There's loads of them criminals, because we didn't go like that. Right, we'll have you doctors. We just said we'll have anybody, and we don't know anything about these people. A lot of the countries that we deal with, we don't get the information from the back history of these people. We don't always get it. You know what I mean? But
and that's why the Vietnamese, they import the Vietnamese to do the drug farms and stuff, because they cannot get the information to port them back or anything. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a link as well, right? Believe it or not, you do not need to be a barrister or a copper to do this. Now, this link I'm putting here, there you go. You can just register, and then you go look at the court listings. You can put someone's name in and find out if they've been a nonce or whatever. But you look at the court listings for the amount of gang rapes and drugs and stuff like that. There's not many John Smiths in there, that court listings. So if anyone else on there, look, it's called the log pages. You just log into it and you can search throughout the country, and you can look at someone's history. It's quite a clever little thing to know. Right, make sure you save that one, John, and you'll have fun with it. You'll have fun with that, because I know you'll be all day tomorrow, probably till 4 o'clock in the morning tonight, thinking, "Oh yeah, I know this person. Let's put his name in."
So I just thought that I'm calling for a root sharp Oldham Labour leader to make sure this incident gets sorted out. I don't want to see any kind of threats towards the woman or the school. And again, there's no integration in Oldham. I'm sorry, love. Whatever you think, you can make it look like we're a lovely, tolerant place. We're not. And it's because of things like political correctness. It's because that you, the Labour Party, just like you've done in Yorkshire, Rotherham, down Telford, you've covered up things instead of dealing with the issues when they arrive. I don't know if people heard me the other day, but the experience and that I've got and the stuff I've seen, and I'll say this right now, 50 years grooming's been going on. I don't want anyone to say 20 years, 30 years, 40. It's been going on 50 years. And what the government, the Labour Party have not done, they've not dealt with it. They've just brushed it under the carpet. And it's just not good enough, guys. If you can't see how dividing that is to our communities and to the different faiths who live in the UK, you're blind. You're blind. It goes out to any councillor or anything. You are absolutely blind, and we're not I won't. My party as leader, I'm not going to stand for political correctness. If I get any kind of power ever, you'll be sorry. because there will be big changes going on in the UK. There will be. I don't want any violence towards anyone. I don't want to be saying to people that we have to go and smash something.
Stamped out. Stamped out.
Yeah.
You want it stamped. Listen, do you know who your greatest allies are in stamping out this grooming stuff?
Go on.
Sikhs.
Yeah, with the SAS, honestly, we've looked into them. We've done a lot of stuff looking into them, and but it is a big thing. But I would go down the route of, it's not just that the main problem we've got with this abuse on our kids is how our kids in our family units, they're being broken up all the time, and as soon as a family unit gets broken up, every little bit of that family unit is vulnerable.
Yeah,
and people know it. The indoctrination that's going on in schools, the left-wing indoctrination, this LGBT rubbish and all that, is causing our kids to have mental health issues, which makes them vulnerable and stuff like that. We need strong kids. We need kids who can stick up for themselves, who can make decisions without having to hold anyone's hand. You know what I mean? That's what we need. I've got a lot of that because when I was younger, I had a lot of independence. By the time I was 15, I was travelling to Bradford, Peterborough on my own, Birmingham. We've got a sister in Birmingham. Travelling all these places on my own. No fear, on the train and stuff like that. Now, kids need fucking an adult, or they've got to have someone hold their hand. They can't go past the train station. It's a big blank thing. They don't know anything about the world. They've got no social skills.
Kids can't even go into McDonald's toilets on their own. That's how bad it is. You know, some fucking refugee or saying had the sexual urgence. Do you see that one in Germany? And he followed a little boy into the toilet and he had a sexual emergency. Never got prisoned or nothing because the Germans, they said, oh, he didn't understand our culture. Listen, I'm telling you this now. That's what I've said about the communities. Why are the women in these Muslim communities not set, all the wives, you know, and stuff like that? And then this is another thing that really upsets me is that, so like in England, right, say like, just chucking it out there, like one of us was abusing one of our children, maybe not sexually, but, you know, like violently or whatever, you know, alcoholic or druggy. Our children, social services would take our children off us. Yet you got these, that group, was it 42 of them, 43 of them, or 46 of them, grooming gangs who've been doing disgusting things to little kids, but they're allowed to go back home on bail, back to the house with the wife and the children there. Do you know what I mean? This is why I'm on about equality again. Why is that so special? Why is that so special? Why are they still allowed to go back to the home? Why are those children being protected?
Political correctness is one of them, but no, one of the Rochdale Free Groomers has come out and said that, why are you picking on me? What are you doing this to me for? It wasn't a big of a crime that I committed. That's what he said.
Is that the one that was delivering pizzas and she had knocked the door or something and he's a delivery driver?
Yeah.
Of one of his victims.
Ordered a takeaway. Next thing on the door, boom, the guy who raped him with a...
Can you imagine what that poor girl, what she must have gone through to experience that?
I mean, I don't know. It's amazing that there hasn't been violence over this. I'm just saying it.
No, hold on a minute. Hold on. Yes, I know it's right. There was a girl who was looking for directions or saying, I don't know if I can't remember her name now. Is it not Chelsea? Is it Justice for Chelsea? I think that's the one. And she got dragged upstairs to above a kebab shop, raped by 3 or 4 illegals, and they were battering her. They did something to her, and she woke up with them all on top of her, and she screamed and got out. All she had on was a shirt, no knickers on or anything. And when she went out into the street, people witnessed them slapping her with their flip-flops. When the police took her back, they found all this. I'm sorry, I'm going to be graphic. Traces of semen, all linked to them. Blah 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 blah. But witnesses saw this happen. The brother went round. What brother wouldn't? Went round to sort it out. He got arrested. These 3 fuckers or 4 fuckers got put on police protection paid by us in a safe house. Nothing has come of that. Nothing has ever come of that.
A brother got 12 months in prison.
Yeah.
A brother got 12 months in prison. Justice for Chelsea. I've met Chelsea. God bless. I've met Chelsea. I've done 4 Justice for Chelsea demos.
She's such a brave girl.
Yeah, and I've chatted a little bit to what's he called, who used to head the demos up there. And I mean, Newcastle, Sunderland's one of my most, like the North East, one of my most favourite places for demoing. I've been up there a lot. I know a lot about the North East. At the same time, there was Operation Sanctuary that highlighted 500 people to the immigration department and 100 of them for immediate deportation. Immediate deportation. And the scandal with that was that they never treated the victims properly. And the police, throughout all Operation Sanctuary, were treating the victims like scumbags.
Yep. So the perpetrators, the people that have done this, are being treated like the victims, and the victims are being treated like the guilty. You couldn't make it up. Makes you angry, doesn't it? Eh? But listen, thank fuck and thank God. Well, not in your case, maybe, but thank goodness that we have this internet to link us all together, to let other people know. You guys in the chat log, you know. There's people out there probably just that are sat at home and then discovered something like this and thinking, I'm not going mad. When I talk to my friends and family about it, they oust me, you know, because they don't think it's real. But here we are as a collective. It's a start. It's a small start, but it's better than nothing. And we can do it. We can do it. As long as you've got breath in your lungs, you've got air in your lungs, never kneel. Never kneel. Die standing.
Right, just let me. I'm gonna, because when I'm done my video, I'm gonna chop it up a little bit, but I'm gonna say something. This is my speech that I'm gonna chop up now, so just hold on a minute. So,
yeah,
Oldham Council, Arut Shah, everyone involved, all the councillors in Oldham, I want you to sort this incident out, and I don't want any violence or anything shouted towards that school teacher. Please don't, because it's not helping our town. No matter what, I don't like. I'm not a fan of religion, and I'm not a fan of anybody who's not playing the game and going by the rules in England. And there's no integration. We've gone on about this. It's been a primary thing in Oldham for over 20 years. Lots of evidence on the internet. So please sort it out. Otherwise, next time, Andy Burton, I'll be asking you personally, what have you done to sort this situation? And I will be asking Arut Shah in an email what you're doing to sort out this lack of integration into Oldham and into the United Kingdom. But thank you very much. But yeah, so it's mad. It's mad, honestly. And I mean, all the trolls on Lefty, the Wilby and all that, come and talk to me, mate. You were the one who blocked me on Twitter, but why don't you come and talk to me? Why don't anyone who's blocked me on Twitter to do with the council come and talk to me, message me? I'm a very nice person to talk to. I am passionate, and the thing is, and I'm an Oldhamer, and I'm Oldhamer all my life, and I've got a big history in Oldham, and you're just ruining our town, and you need to start talking to people, stop being politically correct, and then hopefully we can get things moving again in Oldham. But honestly, I think this year is gonna put me on the atheist side of the line. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. You know, it's going to put me on the atheist side of the line, because religion is like extreme religion is ruining our country. People are being threatened with death threats and stuff, and no one's doing nothing. No one's protecting these people. No one's sticking up for them. People like Kim Leadbeater, all the other councillors in Batley, you've just thrown that teacher under the bus, and it's not good. It's not good. I don't have any faith in you. I think I can do better than any of you members of Parliament, definitely. For sure. You're all politically and motivated, and you're not there for the people. Nobody is. And the ones who are, are really low down on the list and they don't really get the same things. But we're going to change things, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to change things. Things are already changing. I've been on this before. People are voting differently. People are getting onto all these scams that are going on, and things are going to change. You know what I mean? Things really are going to change. So, but anyway, that's enough for me tonight. I've done an hour. Thank you for coming on. God bless.
Oh, you're welcome, mate. I could talk all night with you. You know that.
I'll just have a look in chat. Hi, Alina.
How's your mum?
She's good. If Steph's watching, hi, Steph. Peter Smith. Peter Smith, big up there, Peter.
How many lives you got going on at the moment? We've got the YouTube. Have you got a Facebook live going on? Then I'll take it.
I've got eight.
What?
Destinations. My YouTube, my 2 Facebook profiles, another 2 Facebook profiles, or 3 Facebook profiles, BK and D Live.
Oh my goodness me! Let me have a look at the links down the bottom. Oh mate, but you're gonna have to put some more links in the bottom of your YouTube.
They're on it. If you go to the about, when you
okay, yeah.
Description. When you come off and you go to me about and stuff, I've got all my links there.
How dare you diss me on YouTube in front of everyone?
Why? What have I said?
I know, I'm joking.
Oh.
But your audio does keep dropping. I don't know if it's the same for anyone else. Your audio keeps dropping in and out for me. Your lips are moving, and it's like tapping on a microphone.
I don't know what that is.
Anyone else having it on the YouTube, having the audio drop in and out? Press 1. Well, don't press 1 then. Must be just me then. Anyway, when are you doing your next live, John?
I'm not sure. Probably next week, Monday or Tuesday.
That's another thing as well. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that. See, it's not just me. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing this. Like, so on the where you got to subscribe and you go back to the bell and you can click on all. I don't know if it's just me. YouTube hates me anyway. I think it's just occasionally I don't get the notifications. It's only because I'm just sat in front of the PC having a few beers and I'm clicking YouTube and refreshing that I come across it.
I just want to go into something here. Yvonne Eric's put on, she's right, because I did see something earlier on. It appears a teacher may also be or makes people aware of LGBT. And let me just find this comment somewhere. Bear with me. Let me just find this comment. Just won't be a sec.
Yeah, take your time, mate. Don't forget to like and share, guys. Let's get up to 5K.
Right, hold on. I am definitely going to find this comment. It's pretty relevant. Right, here it is. Delal Mia. We need to raise our voices against the school. The teacher's behaviour against Muslim kids is questionable. It's part of the LGBTQ community called Quinn. Oh, by the way, they've already put this woman's name and picture all over every post that they're doing. 95% of the kids are Muslim, but she constantly promotes in your face kind of LGBTQ stuff. She literally walks around with an LGBTQ flag. There is even an LGBTQ club in the school with only 10 known gay kids, whilst 95% of the kids are Muslim. Isn't there there isn't a Jummah club It's obvious she is an Islamophobe.
Juma.
Children wasn't a problem before, but since this Islamophobe has been in the school, it suddenly has become an issue. So that's what they think. Obviously, they're against LGBTQ. So am I. You know, but it still doesn't mean that you can threaten someone. It still doesn't mean you can threaten that teacher. I actually feel sorry for that teacher because her life as a teacher in Oldham is over. Is over. It's
done. It's dusted.
And this stuff has been going on before. And she does sound like she's been a bit of a bitch, throwing him out and all that lot. But, I mean, they're going to a public school, you know, and I understand they might have to pray and all that lot. But I never seen this when Muslims first, I never seen this in the 90s. This were here in the 90s. There were no kids praying
exactly
at school in the 90s, Muslim kids, right? Because we know that when they do, when they come, they start off small. When they get big, they push for all their stuff to come in.
Exactly. When the numbers build up, then it's something different. I mean, look, there's over, at the moment, I know I'm rehashing over old stuff. We've had, you know, everybody that's coming through, but 99.9% are coming through Dover and all the Dungeness and that, are Muslim. But the thing is, there's over 80 plus Muslim countries in the world. How many of these other countries taking in their brothers and sisters to help them? They're not, are they? I mean, there's only one thing you can call it, and that is an invasion. I'm sorry to say it, put it like that, but all the other countries. And if they're so bad here, why is everyone coming here? I think it's down to the benefits and then being allowed to push and push and push. John, your stream's gone dark.
It's not. I've just turned my camera off. I am still here.
That's all right. Go on, neck that tequila. Neck that tequila. I won't judge you. But it's true, though. It's just why, you know, I mean, in Saudi Arabia, they got, was it 100,000 air-conditioned tents? And then you got this thing going on with the Poland and not Belarus. Is it Poland and what's that border? Belarus.
Belarus.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I mean that was terrible. What was going on over there? And then we send our troops over there to protect their border, but we can't protect our own.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what's happened now? They've all stopped trying to get over there. Yeah. And a majority of them have gotten flights back to Iraq or wherever.
Yes, I know. So much have been war torn and they're fleeing in terror.
Desperate to get here, they've gone back. But anyway, I don't want to be bashing anyone in particular. This is a more of an anti-religious stream. Any kind of religion, I'm telling you, any kind of religion. I'm more towards an atheist. I have a low tolerance of any kind of religion, not one particular one, any kind of religion. Now, that's what an atheist is. You don't just pick on one. I've never been a religious person, and I've always had a low tolerance of all religions. All religions. I can start going into Catholic priests, Christian priests, Muslim imams. Some of the things that the Jews have they've done in the past, and I can go into it all, but I'm a no fan of religion. I've just got to tell people that. And
it is very gang orientated.
Yeah, and
if you know what I mean,
something's got to be stopped. It's got to be. It's got to be stopped. So Arut Shah again. Our council leaders and councillors, if I hear one threat towards that woman of violence, any kind of violence, then I'm going to go to town on you all. And when I mean I'm going to go to town on you all, I'm not going to beat you up or anything. I'm not going to.
We got protests and we'll oust them out and shame them.
In Oldham Town Centre, talking to everyone there for a start. That's what I'll be doing first of all. I'll be telling everyone of every ethnicity and colour and everything what the council is all right doing, letting teachers getting threatened. A female teacher get threatened. We're just not having it. It's not British stuff, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't like it, You're not integrating good enough. If you don't like it, there's plenty of other places to go. That's towards anybody who thinks that their religion can get ahead over everybody else in the UK. It's not on. It's not on
Well
my.
said.
As
Well
a
said.
leader of my party, I'm not standing for it. I'm not standing for it. We have to have rules and regulations. If any religion would stick by the rules and regulations, we might not be in such a mess. But you're not integrating. It's not integrating. It's not me saying it. It's 30, 40 years of Oldham not integrating. It's been in every newspaper, national newspaper, since before the riots about the lack of integration, not being able to speak English. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. But I'm going to end the stream now, guys. I've had my rant. I've got me puff out. Again, to the trolls, if you're going to accuse me of stuff, please get some evidence up. Don't just say it. Get some evidence up. Neil Wilby, Ian Stewart, all the stinking trolls on Twitter who block me. Right, please get some evidence up. Or if not, email me and come and join my stream. Just let me get my banner up. All the trolls, please. I've had people said he'd come on, but no one's emailed me. And I've already got an email up. I do regular streams, fairly regular streams. So I'm always here. So I mean, if people continue to not come email me or ask to come on my show, try and disprove something I've said, then you just fake ass wank stains and not worth bothering about.
Even more so. The thing is, say like you got a bit of say like you and me have a bit of a tiff, right? And I love you, John. You know that, right? You are bro. But if we don't ever talk about it, you know, like you just say, I'll say, look, John, is it racist? It'll never get solved. That's all they do. Never have a really nice debate to try to. It's all about resolving things, to understanding each other and moving on and having a positive outlook on life. But it's with the left. Prove me wrong. Any lefties out there, please, look, you're not your enemy. We all got 5 fingers on each hand, well, most of us. And we got eyes, we got ears, we got children. We want to live life. We're going to die one day. Let's make the best of it while we can. And so come in. Let's resolve things. Don't just be argumentative. Don't have that narrow-minded, when you feel trapped in a corner. It's not that. It's not. No one's enemies. We should all be friends. Let's try and work that one out. Over to you, John.
No, well, we need to talk. We do need to talk. But I mean, a lot of us will agree with. If you ever got down to talking to a lefty, there'd be a lot that you might agree on, that you would probably agree on. It's just that we're so stubborn these days. Now, if you disagree with one thing out of 10, then it's World War III. You don't want to know them. That's what it is with a lot of people on the right and the left. If you have a disagreement, honestly, I'm not like that. I can talk to a lot of different factions of the right, and I feel just as comfortable talking to lefties. I went to a climate change thing the other day, and I said most of the talking, other than the guy who's the host. You know what I mean? And they're all lefties. They were all lefties, and there's a few. There was an African woman there. There was some Muslims. Everyone else was. All the white people were lefties, honestly. And I stood up and asked me a question and talked and said about stuff and all that lot. So it's not that I'm an ignorant savage or a fuck like Ian Stewart and Neil Wilby. I'm certainly not like that. If I was that much of a fuck, I wouldn't have such a following. I wouldn't have such a lot of respect of people and stuff like that. I'm not a fuck. I'm not saying I'm a pacifist, but I don't believe that
stand by what you believe
every time to solve things. I don't believe that. That is a communist, leftist, Marxist thing. That's not my thing. That's the left. The left think that violence is all right if violence in a revolution is good as long as the people are free. But it isn't good because people end up dying on both sides. So how can that be good? How can that be good? Even if we, the British people, rose up and we went down to Parliament and stormed it, some of us would die. Yeah, some of us would die. We might get into Parliament. Some of them might die. Some of the opposite side might die. But the thing is, that's not achieved anything. If we take control, people lost their lives. No, I'm not. We shouldn't have to lose our lives to change what we believe and stuff like that. I don't believe that route. I really don't. And I'm not saying I'm not. What I'm not saying is I won't. It's not. I won't use violence. I had to defend myself when I got stabbed, and I fucking smacked everyone who come near me. Every one of them lads got a right or a left hook off me when they came, and I would have done more if I would have had my steel toe cap boots on, but I didn't. I had to be conscious that there were other people. One of the lads had been seriously stabbed. We had a woman with us, so I had to realise all this. So I couldn't go in like King John and whatever. I couldn't do that. And
Bruce Lee.
I'm not saying I'm a tough person, but if I'm right in what I'm saying and I'm on for a just cause, then you're gonna have a fight on your hands, either verbally or physically. It's simple as so.
If you get attacked.
But I've been attacked. Well, I've been attacked a few times off the lefties and that. And like I said, we had to deal with 12 lads attacking us, and they're all aged between 15 and 25, and 5 knives got pulled out. I had to defend myself somehow. But
I bet you wish you had COVID then, because everybody was kung flu fighting.
Oh God! Right. Anyway, I'm going, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this to any relevant channels you think. If you're on Twitter and you've got, I'm going to share this on one of the Root Shah's posts or tag her in it and ask her to listen to the video. And anyone else you might think, any of the Facebook groups, Failsworth Mourn, all them kind of groups, get it shared everywhere. I like this stuff being shared. And just share it any platform, wherever you want. What on any Oldham Council tweet, you can share it. Share it. Anything to do with Oldham, share. Share on Facebook, please. And that's my thing. And again, I don't want no violence shouted towards that woman. She does sound a bitch. She does. She does sound really horrible. But it still doesn't mean she should have any kind of violence thrown towards her because of that.
Freedom of speech.
And if we got to the point where we have got to the point, and it's happened in Batley, it's happened in Oldham before, where violence has been shouted on religious views at people not for doing violent things. That Batley school teacher did not do anything violent. He was showing the wrong way to show Muhammad. That's what he was showing, the wrong way to show Muhammad. He was showing to the kids. The studies in the Batley School have been going on for ages. It's only now since we've got that religious zealot in, however he got in our country and got a passport, dead religious, and you can't say that bank, get Quran. Okay, now, kill the teacher. Just honestly, this is the kind of stuff we've let into our country with no checks, no proper thingy. You can just go and marry someone from Pakistan, whether they speak they've got a British passport. All that's going out the window. We're not having any of that in our party. Actually, we're not having any permanent settlement in our party. Nobody gets a passport like all these illegals. No one gets citizenship like that. We're not having any asylum seekers and no refugees. Simple as. But anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I'll catch up with you all soon. It is also, I did promise that I'll be doing Violence Month this month. And I am. And I'm going to start off. Hold on a minute. I've got to show you this. And I'm not having a laugh or anything, but that is going to be used in Melon on the first thing that I post about Violence Month. Now, why am I using a melon? Well, that is somebody's head. Yeah. And it's almost 22 years or 21 years that Gavin Opley were killed. And the thing that killed him was a jumping kick aided by a fence to the head. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this melon and show you what happens when it hits the floor. And that's the first thing I'm going to do in violence. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. It'll be sometime next week, but that's what's coming up. And then there'll be a host of tweets, articles, posts, and links about the kind of violence we've got in Oldham and in other places. We've already talked about the rise in violence with young kids stabbing each other and attacking people. All this is going to be mentioned, but that's for Violence Month, which is December. But thank you very much, everyone. Thank you. God bless.
Always welcome, mate. Thank you for letting me come in.
No worries. Thank you to all the chat. And I'll catch up with you all soon.
I'll take it. I'll give you a bell tomorrow. You look after yourself.
You too, pal. You too. Thank you.
Good night, all. Make sure you all like and share. Night.
They will. Night, pal. Night. See you, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.